The Detroit Lions have seen their brass speak up and speak out again just ahead of the critical off-season period, and with the NFL Combine and free agency in focus, Patricia and Bob Quinn hopped up on the podium in Indianapolis to see what questions could be thrown their way ahead of the 2019 off-season. And most of the questions were very good as it relates to how the duo plan to reshape the team. So what did the duo have to say when they spoke about the future? Plenty of thoughts were presented on the offseason, what the Lions hope to accomplish in the draft and free agency, evaluations of TJ Lang and Ezekiel Ansah, in addition to thoughts on Glover Quinn and a fun take on the relationship Patricia has with new offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell. Here's a look at some of the greatest hits from this year's meeting down in Indianapolis. Patricia stole Bruce Arians' look, it seems. At least he's standing up straight. Pic.twitter.com/WG86JCWJG. Dov Kleiman @NFL_Dov Kleiman, February 27, 2019. In his past few appearances, Patricia has been fond of the hat he's wearing now, and added the trench coat to go with it. Rarely is Patricia considered a fashion icon given his beard and hat combinations, but off-season Patricia looks quite good. Patricia asked if there's more competition for the same types of players with all the Ney-influenced clubs in the NFL. It's something I remember in the mid-2000s some of the same situations came up and the schemes were the same. I would say there's more of a variance now. Phil Perry @PhilipPerry, February 27, 2019. The Lions are one of a handful of teams, including the Patriots, that have New England's scheme and ties, but that doesn't seem to matter according to Patricia when it comes to player evaluations because schemes are so different between teams. More variance to things helps span that out when it may have been a problem in the past. Said he has a lot to improve on as a head coach. Said he was behind this time a year ago as a first-time head coach. Pic.twitter.com/pb260. Cody Stutes @Cody Stutes, February 27, 2019. Patricia had just taken over on the job when he hit the Combine last year and admitted he was behind then. A more confident Patricia appeared this year, both in appearance and speech. He admitted he has things to learn still, but also said that he feels more comfortable now than he did a year ago. Patricia says Kerryon Johnson was great last year but thinks it's on him and them now to improve after tape is out there on KJ. Max Demera @SportsGuy. The Max, February 27, 2019. The Lions liked what they got out of Johnson at running back this past year, but there's more improvement that will need to be done according to the coach given the fact that teams will now know what they're dealing with. Seeing how Johnson deals with that will be a huge development. Patricia says he and new Pic.twitter.com/FLMGs1C. Kevin Boilard @247. Kevin Boilard, February 27, 2019. The Lions hired Bevell, the coordinator responsible for throwing the ball on the 1-yard line against Patricia's defense, but the ironic nature of that for the two staff members has apparently not come up. As Patricia said, there's a no-speak agreement about the play. That's just fine because the goal in Detroit simply getting to that point of the season where things can end in a Super Bowl. Lions GM Bob Quinn said that he had a good conversation with Glover Quinn prior to his release and that Quinn will land on his feet if he wants to play again. Said when Quinn first got the job in Detroit, he leaned on Quinn often as a veteran. Michael Rothstein @Mike Rothstein, February 27, 2019. Though Quinn admitted recently that he was kept out on the 2018 season, Bob Quinn admitted he didn't get that impression and the safety remained a steadying influence on the team and is someone he will always consider a friend for a long time. Big praise for the veteran, and Quinn said he wished him well and says he should be able to find work somewhere if he wants it in 2019. Lions GM Bob Quinn said they are still in the process of figuring out what they want to do with TJ and are still having conversations with him. Wouldn't delve into what those talks are about. Lang, the team's starting right guard, dealt with https://t.co/8G9L6EMPI9, Michael Rothstein, @Mike Rothstein, February 27, 2019. The Lions made their move releasing Quinn, but no decision seems to have been made on the future of TJ Lang, another high-priced offensive lineman the team has on the books for 2019. Quinn said that the front office and team is still working things out with Lang and seeing what he wants to do. Obviously, the decision of Lang to keep playing, the Lions to offer him a pay cut or release him could all still be firmly on the table here. Quinn on QB comments, he'll never say yes or no for. He will never eliminate people off his board. Tries to blend BPA and need. Sometimes, combination of both. Not different at QB. Max Demera @SportsGuy The Max, February 27, 2019. The Lions won't scratch someone off their board high in the draft, even if it's a quarterback or a tight end, because Quinn looks to build his draft with a blend of best player and need. As he says, it's not different at some of the glamour spots. So if the Lions did like one of those spots early in the draft, it could happen if the player is high enough on Detroit's board. Just something to remember. Bob Quinn also said they are still in the evaluation process with Ezekiel Ansah, but it's more of a medical conversation right now. He went on injured reserve in December. Michael Rothstein @Mike Rothstein, February 27, 2019. The Lions will be deciding what to do with Ansah, too, and that evaluation continues largely because the Lions watched as their star pass rusher had another tough injury late in the season. Seeing where he's at, then making a decision on if he comes back will be what the Lions do until free agency begins. Safe to say he's not getting franchise tagged again at $17.1 million, though. Bob Quinn says Teez Tabor is still a cornerback and that he's hoping he takes a big step from year 2 to year 3. Quinn seems to still have faith in the young corner who has struggled. Michael Rothstein @Mike Rothstein, February 27, 2019. The Lions don't want to give up on their youngster Tabor at this point in time, given he can still be a solid corner in the league and given he can still grow in a big way on the field between the next 2 years. That growth is what the Lions will be looking for out of Tabor, but clearly, they won't be replacing him outright given this admission. Bob Quinn, speaking at the Combine, says the middle rounds and core of the draft have more depth this year than the last couple years. Mentions OLWR. Good news? 2019's draft should offer the Lions more chances to score in those spots as it's a deep draft. That's great news for the Lions, especially at the needy spots of tight end and wideout, where playmakers are a big-time must. Kerryon Johnson isn't viewed as a bell cow back by Bob Quinn. Says he does, unlike the term, and that in this league you need multiple RBs. Josh Hermsmeyer @Frisco Josh, February 27, 2019. The Lions might be running back shopping this offseason if this comment is to be believed. Quinn doesn't like the term bell cow for Johnson, and certainly wants to surround him with more folks who can help the team grind out yards. Makes sense given what the league has become in this regard. Lions GM Bob Quinn talking about the difficulty in evaluating college tight ends these days. There's only a certain number of offenses that I say are pro-style. The sample size of watching collegiate tight ends block, except for a couple of schools, there's not much there. Phil Perry @PhilipPerry, February 27, 2019. The Lions do take a tight end relatively high. It will be because they meet the team's standards they have established. It's tough to evaluate them, Quinn thinks, because many times, they are merely glorified wideouts. Seeing someone who can do all things well is rare. Something for folks to keep in mind heading into the offseason.